What is up, and welcome back to another episode of Blood and Beer, the show where we talk blood sport and we drink beer. I'm your host, Matt, and as always, we got some MMA to talk. We're doing a UFC 307 Pick'em show, Perriera versus Roundtree, stack card. You know how it goes, $1,000 up, and see how much money we can win. We're down about $300 on the year, or on the last card, up 300 year to date, but lost 300 last week, so looking to make it back and then some. And before we get started into these bets, I just want to give out a parlay warning. $8 billion made by these casinos and sports books. 85 or 80% of their profit is coming from parlays. Don't fall for the parlays. Just do straight bets. It might not be as profitable, but a lot better odds for you than these ridiculous parlays. You're throwing you're shooting fish in a barrel, buddy. That might not be it. I don't know. That might not be the right saying, but don't do parlays. We don't do them over here since learning that fact. Oh, goodness. All right, but we're going to get this kicked off with Court McGee taking on Tim Means. Court McGee's a plus 195 dog. Tim Means coming in as a minus 240 favorite. These guys are both long-term bets with the UFC. It's going to be a gritty fight. Both dudes are tough. Both can take a punch. They're both on a bit of a losing streak. As far as the stand-up, Tim Means has the advantage there. He's got really good boxing, and in the clinch, he's got dirty boxing. It's nasty. On the ground, though, it's the exact opposite. Court McGee's got a clear advantage there, and if he can get it down, I think he's got a better gas tank. He's going to pepper you up with ground and pound. He's got the kind of wrestling where he can hold Tim Means down for rounds at a time. I don't have a lot of faith in this because both guys are on big skids towards the end of their careers, but I'm going to throw $50 out there on Court McGee as a plus 195 dog, so that'll get us 147.50 back if it hits, and it will because we always win. All right, next up we got Ryan Spann taking on Vince St. Preux, minus 340 plus 270 for OSP. This fight's been rebooked because OSP had to pull out due to illness at the last second last time. Spann, he's got the speed advantage. He's got the youth. He's more explosive, much more powerful. And he's got great grappling with his guillotine. It's strong. He taps a lot of guys out with that. OSP, he's pretty much a point fighter at this point. He's not going for a knockout. His chin's not there anymore. He can go in there, touch you up, and win on points. But if it becomes a war, he's going down. The thing that scares me with this and why I'm not touching it, period, is because with Ryan Spann's signature move being the guillotine, perfect combat to the guillotine, I said it last time this fight was booked, is the Von Preux choke or the Von Flue choke, where he lets you put him in a guillotine and then he pretty much arm triangles you to sleep. It's crazy. We might see a return of it. Who knows? If you want to put some money on it, plus 270 for OSP, I'm sure by Wednesday when more odds drop as far as how to finish or the finishing odds and everything, take OSP by submission and you might make some big bucks. But I don't like it. I don't like it enough to put money on it. All right, now we have Carla Esparza, the Cookie Monster, taking on Tesha Pennington, formerly known as Tesha Torres. And I saw these odds blown away. Tesha Torres, minus 185 favorite, plus 155 for Carla Esparza. Blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. Tesha Torres is unranked in the UFC, and Carla Esparza, sure, she lost her last fight, but it was to Zhang Weili, who's beating everybody, and it was for her title. She was the champion. She's one fight removed. She hasn't fought in about a year and a half or 2 years. She's coming back, taking on Tesha Pennington, who's been a perennial top 15, but never really a top 5 kind of fighter. Carla Esparza, she's beat the girls that Pennington's lost to, as far as, the Marina Rodriguez, the Yan Xiaonans, the Mackenzie Derns. She's beat them all. And I think she's got a higher fight IQ. They're the same size. She's got a reach advantage, much better in the wrestling. Pennington's going to have a speed advantage on the feet, but I think that Esparza is going to get the takedowns, dominate the fight, might even finish it with ground and pound the way she did with Yan Xiaonan. And Pennington's going to have a lot of emotions going into this. Just her wife's fighting for the title later in the card. I saw it last week with UFC Noche. Teammates, when they're close with people, they don't fight as well when their significant others fighting on the card. Alexa Grasso, Diego Lopez. Lopez looked great. Grasso did not. So for that reason, I'm putting 150 on Esparza, the dog. That gets us 381 in return. Making some money this time, baby. All right, next up we got Cesar Almeida. He's taking on Ihor Perriera, and I won't touch this fight. I'd like to take the money line on Perriera just because Almeida is so untested on the ground. But Perriera, he's chinny, and Almeida, he's one of these phenomenal kickboxers, and he hits like a fucking truck. I think he's beaten Alex Perriera in kickboxing. I mean, give me a fucking break. Probably going to see a round 1 TKO by Almeida, but just not touching it with those odds. Minus 470 for Almeida and plus 320 for Perriera. Give me a break. And now we have Marina Rodriguez, plus 145. She's taking on Yasmin Lucindo, minus 175 favorite. Big age difference here. Rodriguez, 37. Lucindo, she's 22. And Rodriguez, she was so close to a title shot years ago. She was getting to the top of the division and then getting beat. She took a knockout loss from Amanda Lemos and then dropped another one. Beat Michelle Waterson-Gomez, and then lost to Jessica Andrade. So she's on a bit of a skid. She's not looking as athletic or as explosive as she once has. She's getting taken down a lot easier, and she's not looking great off her back. And Lucindo, this girl's boxing is insane. She's fast. She's explosive. She's got good takedowns, and on the ground, she can finish you there as well. I just think 15-year age gap. Normally, I'm not big on that because of experience, but Rodriguez has looked just like a completely different fighter these last 5 fights. So for that reason, I'm going to be going with Yasmin Lucindo. We're going to be dropping 100, or I'm sorry, let me get that number right. Yes, 100 on her, and that's going to get us 157.15. And then Caitlin Vieira, plus 550 versus Kayla Harrison. I mean, come on, guys. We're not touching this fucking 10-foot stick. Sitting out of this one. Caitlin is just formality for Kayla Harrison while Raquel Pennington and Juliana Pena keep the throne warm. She's coming in. She's going to win this fight, and then she's going to go find the winner of that one and destroy them and take the UFC belt. Probably going to be going down as one of the greatest UFC or MMA women's fighters of all time after she does that and wins PFL 2 or 3 times like she has. So yeah, just a formality. Sorry, Caitlin Vieira. You're not the one to beat Kayla Harrison. She's too good everywhere, and Vieira is good everywhere, but not like how Kayla Harrison is. Man, we are flying through these last couple fights. This next one we got my favorite fighter, favorite guy in the UFC, hands down, Kevin Holland. He's taking on Roman Dolidze. Holland's a minus 140 favorite, and Dolidze plus a minus 170 or 85 favorite. Sorry. Dolidze plus 155 coming back, and 185. That's the weight class for this. Kevin Holland looks great at 185 when he fights there. His punches pop a lot more. Looks like he has a lot more power. His gas tank's even better than it is at 170. Not that it's a problem there, but he can hold his own pretty well. The problem is Dolidze's a huge 185er. He just out-grappled Anthony Smith in their last fight that he took on short notice, who's a 205er. Out-grappled him for 3 rounds, and he hits hard as shit. Big dude, and Holland has had trouble with big, strong grapplers in the past, and that's what Dolidze is. Both of them are BJJ black belts, but Dolidze is a lot bigger, a lot more physical. I want Holland to win this, and just looking at the fight and seeing that it's Dolidze, and my gut telling me Dolidze, with as big of a Holland fan as I am, you got to go with Dolidze as the dog. 150 on him gets us 381 back. We're making some money tonight for next Saturday, baby. All right, and next up we got Jose Aldo, the legend. He's taking on Mario Batista. Aldo's coming in as a plus 145 dog. Batista minus 185 favorite. This is a great matchup. Batista's this dude that's got all the skill in the world. He just doesn't have it on the mic at all. He won't call anyone out. He won't get up there and talk trash, and he gets real nervous when they put the mic in front of him, so he doesn't say much. But the dude can strike. He's got really good straight striking. Little defensive liability when he's throwing, though. He leaves his chin out, I think. But if the striking is not working, he's got great takedowns. And then when there's chaos, when you're splitting from a takedown or splitting from a clinch, he throws wild. He throws good combinations, has really good boxing, good kicks. I mean, the guy's good everywhere. And when it goes to the ground, his jiu-jitsu, deadly in the submission game. He's a real threat. Problem with that is he's taking on Jose Aldo, who just doesn't age. This dude looked great last time out against Jonathan Martinez, was firing on all cylinders, looked fast as hell. His boxing was crisp. His kicks were back. He was throwing the low kicks again that we haven't seen in forever. He's getting takedowns. He's not going to get submitted by a guy like Mario Batista. He's a BJJ black belt. We just never have to see it because he's so good at striking. His boxing is there. This dude's chin is still there. And his defense is just unbelievable for an MMA fighter. The way he keeps the high guard, he does not get hit in the face much at all. I got Jose Aldo in this. I love the odds. We're going to be putting, let's see here, 150 on Aldo gets us 367.50 in return. Like I said, the dogs are barking tonight. The dogs are barking, baby. All right. Next up, we got Joaquin Buckley taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Another one, I look at the odds on paper. I'm like, what the hell are these odds makers thinking? When they give you free money, take it. They got Joaquin Buckley minus 185 favorite, plus 155 for Wonderboy. Couldn't believe it. Buckley's been killing it lately. He's knocking people out. He's getting takedowns. His wrestling's looking good. Striking, strong as hell. Explosive. When he takes people down, he's slamming them into the canvas, just driving them straight through. But Wonderboy's a different puzzle. His striking is just unbelievable. Nobody can figure it out. Kevin Holland, you saw him fight Wonderboy, and I know MMA math doesn't work out, but Kevin Holland slept Joaquin Buckley. When he fought Wonderboy, he just couldn't figure it out. I know he broke his hand, but he just couldn't get it done. Wonderboy, he's got a chin. He's got great takedown defense. And the only guys that are beating him are these Dagestani-style wrestlers or really strong top control wrestlers like a Gilbert Burns. So we're going with Wonderboy. He's just too tough to figure out. The best karate point fighter in the world, I think. He was like 60-0 in kickboxing. Dude's a beast. We're going with Wonderboy, dropping 200 on him. Big bet, 508.50 is the payout. I've almost got all dogs so far. I don't know what we're thinking. And then we got Rocky Pennington in a title fight for the Women's Bantamweight Championship. She's taking on Juliana Pena, former champion. Pennington, minus 166 favorite, plus 140 for Juliana Pena. And another one, give me a break. Juliana Pena, most mediocre fighter I think I've ever seen. Sloppy stand-up, can't get a takedown to save her life. Her jiu-jitsu is really good. She's really good at jiu-jitsu. Everywhere else, she's terrible. She doesn't have a get-back-up game if you put her on her back. She's going to throw up submissions, and that's her only plan. Gas tanks there, but that's about it. She beat Amanda Nunes because Amanda Nunes did not show up. You saw what happened in their second fight when Amanda Nunes just destroyed her. Juliana Pena got this fight by running her fucking mouth, and everybody knows that. She sat out forever, so they'd give it to her. And Rocky Pennington, I don't think she's all that. I don't think she's great at all, but she's a really strong wrestler, really boring fighter. What's going to happen in this is she's going to go out there, throw about 5 strikes, and take her down at the beginning of each round, and Pena's probably not going to get back up. Boring decision for Rocky Pennington to retain that belt. We're going to do 150 on Pennington, gets us 240 in return. Ran out of breath. All right. And then the main event of the evening, Alex Poatan Perriera defending his belt again, this time against Khalil Roundtree, I think the number 8 ranked fighter. UFC's really just giving him a gift. They're saying, thank you for all you've done for us this year, all the times you've stepped up short notice. Here's a gift. This guy gets hit a lot. He likes to trade, and he's not going to try to take you down. He's already said it. He's got 0 takedown attempts, Khalil Roundtree does, in all of his UFC fights. 15 of them, 0 attempts. This dude's going to go out and try to swing with you. Perriera loves that. Listen, Perriera's not defensively sound. He could get caught in this. He could get clipped, but we're probably going to see another highlight knockout for Perriera. There's not a lot to break down on this because we know how Perriera fights go. It's not about the skill. It's about, can you avoid that left fucking hook? Can you avoid those high kicks? Can you avoid any shots from Perriera? And nobody has been able to so far. And anybody that can take one of them, they're not taking 2, they're not taking 3. This dude's putting everybody out. We're going to put 50 on Roundtree just because the odds are so freaking sweet. $50 gets you minus 2, or gets you 225 back. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think there's a shot. We just had 50 left over, and the way the money worked out, I wasn't even going to bet this fight. I want Perriera to win. I got Perriera in this fight, but the odds for Roundtree, why not take him when someone's defensively liable and it's going to be a stand-up fight? Anybody can win that. Plus 350 odds, you love to see it. And it's probably going to be even better as the week goes on when those prop bets open up. Khalil Roundtree by knockout, because we know that's the only way he's got it. Goodness gracious. You're probably looking at plus 300, plus 400 on those. So make your money while you can. Don't put parlays in. Tune in to UFC 307. It's going to be a wild card. I can't wait for it. Thank you for tuning in to Blood and Beer. Let me know what your picks are in the comments. Thank you for checking it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm Matt with Blood and Beer. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I don't know. I'm rambling.